Welcome to SuperLife with me, Darren Oline, a podcast where we explore, discover, and share solutions that promote a healthier life and a better world. Together, we'll ignite possibilities, inspire change, and build sovereignty, creating a roadmap towards a super life for you and for all. Get ready to start living your super life. Hey everybody, welcome to the show. This is Darren Oline. This is the SuperLife podcast. I'm stoked you're here. Thank you for joining. Like and subscribe and share it with your friends and family, because what we're doing here is we're building a super life for you, your family, your friends, and the community at large. I'm dedicated to that. Being a better steward, being sovereign, having agency over our health more than we did yesterday, so that we can demand and command more of our life and say yes to life and build our super life and the life that is beyond just the normal kind of living. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm dedicated to looking at that from different perspectives. Of course, you have to maintain your health and gain wellness and vitality. Of course, you have to be a steward for the planet and minimize pollution that jeopardizes waterways and air and our bodies, and avoid fatal conveniences. In this episode of Super Life, I'm going to dive into the idea that it may be more than just carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm examining the concept that what if it is more than just normal, what you think of as metabolism, and it's far more expansive than that. There's a lot more going on. There's a lot more interconnectivity than just traditional focus on the breakdown of carbohydrate, proteins, and fats in our, where do you get your calories and where do you get your protein and all of this stuff. And it's not just mechanically and biologically looked at. But what if it was energetic? What if it was looking at the energy systems? What if it was looking at the absorption of photons that these green leaves have had and these plants have had from the sun? What if it's the liberation of light energy? Bear with me here. What if it's an energetic system as well? Consider, we are energy. Our hearts, our beats, our brains, our central nervous system, hell, our metabolism ultimately liberates and creates energy and heat, frequency. We are frequency beings. We are electromagnetic. So I'm going to explore this other way of looking at the way you're eating and living so that you can have maybe a greater understanding of just, instead of just reducing things down to where do I get my protein? And moreover, looking at food from a wider lens. How fresh is it? How raw is it? How energetic is it? That's right. So the traditional way of metabolism is understood by the body breaks down food into nutrients, and then it's used for energy and growth and repair and maintenance. And yes, all of that is true. In the view we're exploring now, the metabolism goes beyond just breaking down carbohydrates, proteins, and fats into these constituents, and the proteins into amino acids, and et cetera, et cetera. It becomes a little more deeper and a little more intricate. And this process of looking at food is harmonizing us with understanding these subtle energetic frequencies that surround us. Every living organism emits energy, and food does too. It carries an energetic imprint. Foods that are fresh have more energy. I remember in 7th grade or 8th grade biology class, we'd put an anode and a cathode in a fresh potato, and it would turn on a light bulb. That's right. Why was that just thrown off in a biology class? Isn't it a lot more powerful to understand that my theory here is that life begets life? So, yes, that potato has carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, and minerals, and vitamins, but it also has frequency. It also has a life force. So I want you to stretch yourself here and understand that food is a lot more. Oh man, it's a lot more than carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. That our natural environment is constant state of frequency modulation. Sunlight, air, water, even human interaction is a constant state of interactions of frequency and electromagnetic fields. And that influence our well-being. Suffice it to say that we don't even understand how important it is for a community to be around another person. But the largest study by Harvard, 75 years and ongoing study, shows the power of connection and community is more powerful to your health than any other thing, by far. That need for connection, whereby you're exchanging energies, you're exchanging frequencies, all the way to you want to be abundant and wealthy, you look at the people you're surrounded by. Isn't there some subtle yet powerful energy exchange? There's so many examples of this. So let's talk about life force energy a little bit. Life force energy, or even what the traditional Chinese medicine call qi, or prana from the Ayurvedic. These are the two longest standing organized health generating medicinal healthcare programs on the planet. One could argue traditional Chinese medicine is over 10,000 years. Other people can argue that Ayurveda is beyond that, maybe even double into 20,000. So the vitality that we understand that goes through the chakras, that goes through our body, the electromagnetic fields that were looked at from electromedicine in the early 1920s, Dr. Hulda Clark, Tesla himself, Dr. Christopher, Dr. Royal Rife understood that every disease had a frequency misalignment, that every disease, everything in this reality has a frequency, whether living or dead. Thereby, everything is emitting a frequency. When we view our bodies as energetic beings, it becomes clear then that health is not just about what we eat in terms of calories and nutrients. It's not just about that. I am not saying, again, that this is without carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. What I'm again suggesting that it may be even beyond just that. How we attune ourselves into these subtle energies, just as plants capture the sunlight and convert it to this chemical energy. Our bodies have the potential to absorb and convert different forms of this energy into vital life force, which supports physical and mental health. The role of frequency and vibration, I think, is not yet understood and largely potentially even suppressed in our modern healthcare system. Everything in the universe has its own frequency or vibrational signature. This includes not only living beings and also the food, but also inanimate objects. Thoughts and emotions have frequencies and experiences that you feel. When we eat, it's not just about the nutrients we're absorbing. It's about the frequency of the food. And when we look at this, we then go, okay, we also know that foods that are heavily processed, ultra-processed, created foods that aren't even really foods, have no life force or very little. So then you can make the argument, well, yeah, there's a bunch of nasty chemicals and dyes and all of these things that are equally and powerfully against living and vitality. But also it's devoid of life force. So think about it. Just from that idea alone, you're eating food that is constantly devoid of life force energy, living force energy. What is that doing to your overall life? If you understand my theory that if life begets life, if you're eating things that are devoid of life, how is that going to affect your body, your being? So, whereas the reverse is, if you're making a powerful impact to avoid refined sugars and artificial dyes and all of that stuff and lower the consumption of these denser frequencies or these lower frequencies that potentially could be negatively charged for your body. In contrast, fresh, off of the vine, out of the ground, Chaga agrees, organic, fresh plant-based foods, wild harvested herbs, clean water. All of these things carry a higher vibrational frequency that can potentially enhance and own a higher energetic vibration as it is in consuming that. Furthermore, the world around us, nature, music, sunlight, even human interactions also carry high amounts of frequencies, and they affect our own energy field. By cultivating our awareness of these subtle energies and including more life force choices into our lives. I'll get into other lifestyle things to also support that, like barefoot walking and discharging some of those positive ions into the earth to increase the negative ions that balance your body. Nurturing relationships, loving in those relationships, natural sunlight, exposure, balance of the circadian rhythm. The holistic view of metabolism as an energetic process encourages us to see health as dynamic, interconnected experience. It's not just about managing the physical body through diet and exercise. It's not just about that, but it's also about nurturing the mind and spirit through practices that support emotional well-being, giving a prayer, giving a thanks, giving a gratitude before you eat. Looking at your food going, is this life-affirming food? Is it giving me energy? Is it full of life? When I cut open a fresh strawberry that I just picked or that I got from the farmer's market, that is full of life. It explodes with life in my mouth. That is different than reaching for a cookie filled of refined sugars and carbohydrates. No life versus life. Mindfulness practices also enhance because it gets us out of that negative ruminating mind into the ocean of meditation, the ocean of gratitude. Deep breathing is a great way to increase the energetic flow of your body. Nose breathing. So you want to look at nutrition more of energetic nutrition. Instead of just focusing solely on these macronutrients, I want you to consider the energetic qualities of food. Fresh, organic, vibrant foods. Where are you getting them? What are they? Processed, chemically laden. Get rid of, minimize the alternatives of those that are full of things that are not life-affirming. Fermented, slow cooking, vibrationally powerful food, fresh food. It's really not complicated. I know you know this. So when I got back from a trip recently, I was run down. And one thing I said to myself, if I didn't have access to a bunch of holistic naturopaths and doctors that I know, what would I do? And I went outside, face and body to the sun, and I started nose breathing, increasing oxygen throughout my body, creating immediate changes, absorbing high amounts of energy, prana, and oxygen. This powerful, focused meditation increases my energy and started to combat and made a shift almost immediately. There's a lot of things of surrounding yourself with music and sound and music therapy, anything that sounds nurturing to your soul. Hell, Hans Zimmer, I went to one of his concerts and it moves my soul. Connection to nature. Stop saying, I need to go to nature. Try to surround yourself by nature the best that you can in almost every way. And certainly try to do it every day. We need to think about health in a new paradigm. Viewing health from this lens of energy exchange, not just carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Shifting our relationship to the world will shift how we choose our food, what we put in our mouth. Embracing this natural connection that we have to life-affirming food. Life begets life. Embracing what should be in our healthcare system. Foods first, nature first, fresh food. Hell, subsidize those foods. We would change our paradigm. We would reduce the way that our healthcare system is going. We would change the amount of people that are dying unnecessarily because of a lifestyle and of lack of access to fresh food. This is a movement that is required and needed today more than ever. Other ways to increase energy flow is hydration, electrolytes. Electrolytes you can find in fresh food, fresh fruits, as well as you can add good unrefined salt. Increases the electro potential in your body. Water is essential for all processes in the body and electrical conduction. So, I've talked about water enough, but nutrient-dense foods, life-giving foods, prioritize, of course, sleep, restoration. Physical activity moves the energy. If you feel not great, if you feel depressed or angry, upset, go for a walk. It changes your state. It moves the prana. It moves the chi. It moves the energy. Practice this breath work. Practice these deep breathings. Manage your stress and emotions. emoting. Emotions move energy in your body. It can drain or uplift you. Practice mindfulness in what you're doing. Get sunlight, your solar panels of the skin. Enliven them. Let those photons hit your skin and produce the life-giving energy and prana and structure the water in your body, as well as production of vitamin D. But be sensible. Don't burn yourself. 15, 30 minutes, depending on your skin tone. There's so many other things that you can do. Grounding, full of prana, of juices and green juices. All of these things are incredibly powerful. Positive emotions, positive people. That's not to say don't grieve. Don't look at certain things so that they're not in you and causing disease. Emotions can affect our energy flow. There's a lot more you can get into around the emotion side. Maybe I'll do a whole episode on emotions themselves. But there's a lot of great research that I pulled aside, research on emotions and physical health. Numerous studies. The studies published in the Journal of Psychosomatic Research found that individuals with higher levels of positive emotions had better immune function and lower rates of cardiovascular disease. Study done in 2000. Research on mind-body connection has shown that unresolved emotional trauma can lead to chronic conditions such as things like fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, autoimmune disorders. On the other hand, processing emotions and cultivating, it doesn't mean you need to be positive all the time or bypass, but processing emotions effectively and cultivating positive mental states can help accelerate recovery and improve energy levels. Incorporating emotional awareness is powerful to this whole process. So, I have some of that research around emotions in the show notes. My takeaway here is, I've said it over and over again, maybe food is not just about carbohydrates, proteins, and fats and fiber. In addition to all of those things that you, of course, should be aware of, think of it more now as energetic, as life force. So if I think of fresh food, sprouts, fresh bowl of fruit in the morning, I'm celebrating life-affirming food. Every once in a while, you'll have a meal and a takeaway. Just think, it's cooked, it's processed, it's not full of life force as a fresh bowl of fruit or a fresh salad. Increase your quotient of life-affirming foods in your diet, and you will notice the difference. I believe in you to have a super life. And so I want you to consider that in choosing food, choose that life-affirming, life force-filled food. And you may see a radical shift in how you feel, and how you be, and how you recover. Thanks, Super Lifers. I'm grateful for you. Like, subscribe, share it, and remember, go after your super life and kick some ass.